No one is going to follow you unless you know where you're going. And where you're going has to be a part of your invite. I want that to set in. Like I've heard the saying, no one's getting on the train that has no destination. No one is getting on your network marketing train unless you have a destination. And the only way they're going to know that you have a destination is if you tell them where you're going. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the podcast. Here we go. It is nice to be back in a rhythm with all of you. And listen, today I want to talk to you guys. I know there's been some crossover material in the past. Nevertheless, what you're going to always get from me is what I think is the most urgent message that I can deliver at this particular time. And so some of the stuff I deliver to you is things that are actually impacting our business. When I say our business, network marketing as a whole, at the time that I'm kind of delivering the information to you. I think that's the way it should be, right? I shouldn't be delivering information to you that was effective a year or 2 years ago. And as you guys all know, probably from the last podcast and many other episodes before that, I'm a firm believer in the beauty of MLM, but the successful people. Like I've had conversations kind of behind the scenes with some of the biggest names in network marketing, and they would tell me one-on-one, like, Brandon, I never led with the service of the product. I always led with the business. I know a lot of people wanted me to do presentations that were a little bit more toned down in the presentation. So I would do two. I would do presentations for my team, but then I would do a separate set of presentations or presentation to attract my people and my leaders. And I was like, whoa, that's wild. Like I never did two different type presentations, but I understand the messaging behind that or the thought behind it. Here's what I want to deliver with you guys today. No one is going to follow you unless you know where you're going. And where you're going has to be a part of your invite. I want that to set in. Like I've heard the saying, no one's getting on the train that has no destination. No one is getting on your network marketing train unless you have a destination. And the only way they're going to know that you have a destination is if you tell them where you're going. And this, I think, is kind of one of the missing pieces for people is they know where they want to go, but they're not telling people where they're going. They're telling people about their product or service in hopes that if they tell enough people, they're going to get to go where they want to go. And newsflash, you're not. You're going to make some money, but you're not going to make the money. Okay. And I think my listeners want to make the money. Okay. Whatever that number is for you. Right. And the beauty is if you can articulate where you're going, without doubt, if you do it long enough with the right systems in place, you'll make more money in this profession than your wildest dreams could ever imagine. Okay. But it needs to be a part of your invite and it needs to flow out of you authentically. And so I want all of you to really think why you're doing network marketing. And if it's just for a few $100, that's fine. But articulate that like I am doing this so that I can have some financial relief. I am doing this to make a few $100 extra so that the gas bill isn't crushing me anymore. That's a better invite than saying, hey, look at my product or service. Because I believe with the right invite, if it's authentic enough, people are going to buy your product and service anyway, because people buy you before they buy the product and the service. So I want you guys to get really, really clear on what you want out of this opportunity. And don't be afraid to tell the world what it is that you want. It doesn't sound greedy. It doesn't sound like you're some money hungry person. It's your destination. It's what you want. Do you want to pay your home off? Do you want to be able to provide for your aging parents? Do you want to be able to provide better for your children? Listen, work that in to your 20-second, your 30-second pitch, guys, whatever it is. Because if you can do this, the rest is kind of downhill, meaning it gets easier. Just think about it. Would you ever think about this? I don't think I've said this on this podcast, but who knows? Have you ever been on a commercial airline, a plane, alone? Like, you know, big jet that holds a couple hundred people. Have you ever been on a jet and literally the jet takes off and you're the only one on it besides the staff, the pilot, the flight attendants? And the answer is never. That will never happen. That will never happen. There's always dozens to hundreds of people on those planes. And the funny thing about that is, in the very city you're in, or the very city that has the closest airport to you, it's probably why you chose it, there are hundreds of people that want to go to the same city as you at the same time, because that airline probably makes multiple trips to that city a day. There are dozens to hundreds of people that want to go to the exact same place as you. Now, if you went around town knocking doors and saying, hey, do you want to go to Atlanta tomorrow? You would probably get a lot of no's, wouldn't you? Like exhaustingly. But are those people there? Eventually, are they there? They're absolutely there. And along the way, if you really, really, really get good at this, you may get people to join you on your trip that aren't really even quite 100% wanting to go, but because of your enthusiasm and your excitement for the goal, the journey, they'll go with you. Sure, let's go. I wasn't planning on it, but let's go. All right. So I hope you guys are getting the gist of this. There are people all around you every day that want to go where you want to go, but they're never going to go with you unless you tell them where you're going. Like, I used to tell people all the time that it was my goal to be completely free financially by 45 years old. I was telling that in my early 30s. And guess what, guys? By the time I was 42, that's what happened. And guess what I found? I found a bunch of people that wanted to be done also by 45. A bunch of them. Now, does that mean they all made it? No. And most of them that didn't make it, they either A, never articulated where they were going, or B, they gave up on their own goal. They gave up on their own journey. Sure way to get people off of your plane, off your train, is for you to get off. Surefire way, right? And it's going to be really hard to go back to those people and go, hey, I'm going on another trip. You want to go? You guys picking up what I'm laying down here? Entrepreneurs make tons of mistakes and decisions. The good ones just stick around long enough and work hard enough to make it right. Even a bad choice, like think about a piece of real estate. Well, you guys know my story with this house that we purchased that turned into a weekly rental, Airbnb. I ended up with actually the wrong house. Like I ended up with the house next door. There's two houses. If you remember the story, I ended up with the other house. And it was fine because it was actually in better shape than the other one. I'm not going to get into that story. You can go find that podcast. But here's the reality. We rolled our sleeves up. We've made it work. Guys, that house just got a booking. That house just got a booking for 2027. That's going to pay for in 2 months, it's going to pay for half the year's mortgage. In February of March of next year, it's going to pay in 2 months. It's going to pay for 6 months of the mortgage. It's working. Why is it working? Not because we made like the perfect decision, because we rolled our sleeves up. and we knew what we were doing as far as what we wanted, and we made it work. That's what network marketing is, guys. You just make it work. You force your will upon it. All right. And so, but you have to know what you want. I knew what I wanted. I knew I wanted a home in that area, 3-bed. I knew what I wanted, and I knew what the end goal was. And so through all the difficult stuff, I didn't get down. When I realized we were $25,000 over budget, when I realized I probably paid more in closing costs than I would like to have paid, when I realized that the work took about 2 months longer than it should have taken. When, on New Year's Day, I got a phone call, the toilet was not working. I mean, come on. You got to expect these things, right? And so despite all that stuff, we made it work. So I know you're going to get sick, and your kids are going to be doing this, and your significant other, your partner is not going to support you. And you're going to have people that join your team and leave your team. And there's going to be things that happen with the company. And I know, kind of like the house, I know it's not going to be perfect, but as long as your vision doesn't change and you just roll your sleeves up on this thing and make it right, it will work. It will work. But you have to know where you're going. And it has to be a part of the first step of this thing, and that's the invite. The amateurs are inviting to product and services. The amateurs are inviting to that. The pros, I'm talking, guys, the real pros. The real pros are showing the vision. They're telling people where they're going. They're painting a picture for them that's compelling enough that people are getting on their train. They're getting on their bus, and they're going. This topic, I can't stress upon you how significant this topic is. Now, does that mean you'd never sell the product? No, I think everybody needs to have really good sales skills. In fact, I think you guys should take it as a challenge. I take it as a challenge to sell, because I know that's a skill that can serve me so many ways. So many ways. I think I told you guys about that a few weeks ago. And if you haven't, you should be joining my freedom meetups, because we talk about things like what happens throughout the week. And anyway, I believe that when you have sales skills, life's just going to get easier for you. I know. If you can sell, life is easier. If you cannot sell, you're dependent on someone else, life is more difficult. It just means you're going to get less things your way. That makes things more difficult. Okay. So think really hard, guys, of what you want and where you're going, and let that be the dominant conversation. And you need to have posture. Like, I'm going, like, just like when you bought the plane ticket and you're getting like, I'm going, this is where we're going. See, that, I mean, is the definitive. Like, you don't go to the airport going, well, I hope there's a plane here, and I hope the pilot knows where I want to go. No, the plane's going to be there because you've done it enough times, right? The pilot, the systems are in place. And so you need to know that your opportunity has systems in place, and you're confident that it's going. The only thing that you need to get extremely confident in is that you're going. You know it's going, but are you going? And when you're as confident that you're going as it's going, like the plane or the train's going, when you get that confident, other people are going to feel it. They're not going to question if you're going. They're going to know you're going, and they're going to want to get on that train. That's how we did it. That is literally how we did it. And then as we were going, we would show them, like, see, told you we're going. See, we're going. I would show them volumes. I would show them back office stuff. I would show them enrollments. I would show them paychecks. Like, we're going. We're going. You coming? And so you guys work on this and make it a goal that you are able to articulate to people where you're going, because I know there's people that want to go there, no matter what it is that you want. No matter what it is that you want, that you join this thing. There are hundreds, if not thousands of people, tens of thousands of people. If you get kind of like broad, like, if you say, I want to improve my financial situation. Well, that's pretty broad. I think there's about I don't know how many people live on earth, but all of them want to improve their financial situation, with give or take a few weirdos. Okay. So anyway, you guys, I hope this one landed well for you. It's a little shorter, but that's okay. Doesn't need to be 20, 30 minutes every time. This one's important. Work on it, guys. Talk to you next week.